My fiancée didn't show up to the altar. I stood there for an hour until she texted, "I can't do this." Then I saw her Instagram story, Vegas baby, with her ex. I turned to the guests, announced the party was still on, but replaced the just married banner with "just dodged a bullet." And then, original post I-32 mail got left at the altar yesterday. Still processing. Feels surreal typing it out. Wedding was scheduled for 3 p.m. Outdoor ceremony, nice venue, 150 guests. I was standing up there in my suit at 2:45, groomsmen next to me, officiant ready. Guests seated. String quartet playing. 3 p.m. No bride. 3:15 p.m. Wedding planner checking her phone frantically. Bridesmaids looking confused. 3:30 p.m. My best man asking if we should check on her. I called. Straight to voicemail. 3:45 p.m. Guests getting restless, kids running around, people checking their phones. 4 p.m. My phone buzzed. Text from my fiancé, "I can't do this, I'm sorry, I just can't." That's it, 4 years together, engaged for 18 months, wedding planned for a year. 4 words via text. I stood there staring at my phone, my best man read it over my shoulder. Dude, what the? Then my cousin showed me her Instagram story, posted 20 minutes ago. My fiancée, in Vegas, holding champagne, with her ex-boyfriend from college, the one she swore she had zero feelings for, when he moved back to our city 6 months ago. Caption: Vegas baby, sometimes you gotta follow your heart. The guy she'd been just catching up with as old friends for the past few months. I looked at 150 people staring at me, waiting. Some knew something was wrong. Most were just confused about the delay. My mom started crying. My dad looked ready to commit violence. And something just clicked. Cold clarity. I walked to the microphone, tapped it. Everyone went quiet. Hey everyone. So, there's not gonna be a wedding today. My fiancée decided to go to Vegas with her ex-boyfriend instead. Just found out via text about 10 minutes ago. Gasps, murmurs. My mom sobbed louder. But here's the thing, we paid for all this. Food, drinks, band, venue, everything. It's all here, it's all paid for, and I'm not letting it go to waste. I gestured to my groomsmen. Take down that "just married" banner. They looked confused, but did it. I grabbed a Sharpie from the wedding planner, wrote on the back of the banner in huge letters, "Just dodged a bullet. Hang it back up." They did. A few people laughed. Nervous at first, then genuine. So here's what's happening. This is now a party, a celebration of me not marrying someone who'd bail via text to run off to Vegas. The bar's open, food's coming out, band's gonna play, everyone stay, eat, drink, dance. Let's make this the best non-wedding party you've ever been to. My best man started clapping, then my dad, then everyone. Actual applause. The band started playing upbeat music instead of the wedding playlist. The bar opened. Catering staff started bringing out food, steak, salmon, all the expensive stuff we'd ordered. And you know what? People stayed. Almost everyone. They ate, drank, danced, congratulated me on dodging a bullet, gave me pats on the back, told me stories about their own close calls. My uncle cornered me around 7 p.m., 3 whiskeys deep. You know what the best part is? You're not legally tied to her. No divorce, no splitting assets, clean break. He was right. We'd kept our finances separate. Learned that from watching my sister's messy divorce. The house we were supposed to move into after the honeymoon, still in my name only. The deposit came from selling one of my motorcycles. I collect and restore vintage bikes. Have 3 fully restored ones worth about $65 total. My aunt overheard. Wait, did she contribute anything to the wedding costs? No, I paid for everything. Told her to save her money for the honeymoon, which I also paid for. Non-refundable resort in Bora Bora, $8,500. My aunt's eyes went wide. She knew that and still. Yep. The party went until midnight. People were dancing, laughing, having a genuinely good time. The photographer I'd hired actually kept shooting, said these would be the most unique wedding photos I've ever taken. I got home at 1 a.m. Checked my phone. 32 missed calls from her mom, 15 from her dad, 8 from her sister. Bunch of texts demanding I call them immediately. Nothing from her. I blocked all of them and went to bed. Woke up this morning to find my fiancé's stuff still in my apartment. We'd been living together for 2 years. Her clothes in the closet, her toiletries in the bathroom, her artwork on the walls. Also woke up to her Instagram post from 4 a.m. Sometimes the universe tells you what you need, not what you want. Trust the journey. The comments were disabled. Smart move. My best man called. Dude, last night was legendary. How you holding up? Honestly, weird. Not as devastated as I should be, maybe? Because you knew something was off. He was right. The past few months she'd been distant, working late, constantly. Girls' nights, every weekend. Her ex just happened to be at the same bars, the gym, the coffee shop. I'd asked about it. She'd called me paranoid and controlling, said I needed to trust her, that her ex was just a friend. Classic playbook. The thing that really gets me? The wedding was supposed to be yesterday. She was supposed to text me, "I can't do this," at the last possible moment to maximize humiliation. But I flipped it, turned her power move into my party. And now I'm sitting in my apartment drinking coffee surrounded by her stuff, wondering what happens next. Update 1. 3 days later. The fallout has been wild. First, the money situation. Ran the numbers yesterday. Total wedding costs $43,800. I paid every cent. Her contribution, $0. When people ask why I paid for everything, it's simple. I make good money as an electrical engineer, and she's a freelance graphic designer who makes maybe $35 a year. I offered to pay. Told her to save her money. Generous? Sure. Stupid? Apparently. Second, her stuff. She's been radio silent since the Vegas post, until yesterday afternoon when her sister showed up at my apartment. We're here for her things. We? Her sister had brought 2 friends I didn't recognize. No moving truck, just her sedan. Everything's still here. She can come get it herself. She's too upset to face you right now. She was upset enough to text me, "I can't do this," while I was standing at an altar. She can come get her own stuff. You're being petty. I'm being reasonable. She wants her belongings. She can arrange a time to pick them up. Like an adult. They left. Her sister called me a jerk on her way out. That evening, her dad called from a number I hadn't blocked yet. "We need to talk about the wedding expenses." What about them? You're going to demand she pay half, aren't you? Because that would be very unfair given the circumstances. I almost laughed. What circumstances? Her running off to Vegas with her ex? She was having a crisis. Cold feet, you should understand that. Cold feet doesn't involve posting Instagram stories from Vegas with another man. She made a mistake, and now you're going to financially punish her for it? I paid for the wedding, all of it. I'm not asking her for anything, but I'm also not giving her anything. What about the gifts, the registry items? Oh, the registry. We'd registered at 3 stores, high-end stuff, kitchen equipment, furniture, electronics. People had been generous. The gifts were for both of us, for our marriage. There's no marriage. I'll be returning everything and giving people their money back. You can't do that. Those are gifts. For a wedding that didn't happen, it's the right thing to do. She deserves half. Of gifts given for a marriage she bailed on? Nah. He hung up on me. Here's where it gets interesting. My ex-fiancée's family started calling my family. Her mom called my mom crying about how I was keeping her daughter's belongings hostage and refusing to split the wedding gifts. My mom, "Your daughter left my son at the altar to run away with her ex-boyfriend. She's lucky he's not suing her for the wedding costs." Apparently that shut down that conversation real quick. But the real issue? The motorcycles. I mentioned I collect vintage bikes. 3 fully restored ones. 1972 Honda CB754. 22 Keller value. 1985 Yamaha RZ500, 28 Ke value. 1969 Triumph Bonneville, 15 Keller value. All purchased and restored by me before I even met my ex-fiancée. She never cared about them. Called them garage clutter once. Complained about the time I spent on them. But apparently her dad knows bikes, and he knew what they were worth. Yesterday evening, her dad showed up, with her. First time seeing her since the non-wedding. She looked rough. No makeup, sweatpants, wouldn't make eye contact. "We're here to discuss asset division," her dad announced. "There are no assets to divide. We weren't married. You lived together for 2 years. Common law marriage in this state means we're not in a common law marriage state. This is not a common law marriage state. Nice try, though." Her dad's face reddened. "She contributed to this household. She paid $600 a month rent. That's it. I paid utilities, groceries, everything else. She's paid $0 toward my mortgage. What about the motorcycles?" There it was. What about them? She helped you restore them. I actually laughed. She's never touched a wrench in her life, never helped with any restoration work, barely knew what they were. My ex-fiancée finally spoke. Quiet, shaky voice. I gave you emotional support while you worked on them. Emotional support doesn't entitle you to ownership. They're mine. Purchased before we met, restored by me, titled in my name. Her dad tried another angle. She gave up career opportunities to support your lifestyle. What career opportunities? She's freelance, works from home. Her income hasn't changed since we met. She deserves something for her pain and suffering. She caused her own pain and suffering when she ditched our wedding for her ex. My ex started crying. Her dad put his arm around her. You're being cruel, he said. I'm being factual. There's no legal claim here. We weren't married. We don't have common law marriage. She has no ownership stake in my property, my vehicles, or anything else. She can get her belongings and leave. We'll sue for financial compensation. For what? Go ahead and waste your money on a lawyer who will tell you the same thing I just did. They left. Her dad helped her pack some clothes and toiletries. Took about 40 minutes. She cried the whole time. Kept looking at me like I was supposed to comfort her. I sat on the couch reading. When they finished, her dad had one more thing to say. You know what? You two deserved each other. You're both cold and calculating. Difference is, I was cold and calculating after she abandoned me at our wedding. She was cold and calculating while planning to do it. They left. She's got most of her clothes now, but plenty of stuff remains. Her books, her artwork, kitchen items she brought, random furniture pieces. I've given her until the end of the month. After that, it's going on the curb. The best part? Found out from my best man, who talked to her sister's boyfriend, that the Vegas trip was a disaster. Her ex was apparently already seeing someone else. The Vegas thing was just a fling. He made that clear after 2 days. So she burned down her life for a guy who didn't even want her long term. Can't make this stuff up. Update 2. 2 weeks later, things escalated. Of course they did. My ex-fiancée moved back in with her parents. Apparently the independent adult life she was so excited about wasn't as fun when she couldn't afford rent without my subsidizing. Her family has been relentless. Remember how I said I'd return the wedding gifts? I did. Every single one. Took me 3 days, but I contacted every guest who gave us something, explained the situation, and either returned items or refunded money. Most people were incredibly understanding. Some even told me to keep the gifts. I refused, but her family found out and lost their minds. Her mom called me screaming about how I embarrassed them by telling everyone what happened. What was I supposed to do? Keep the gifts under false pretenses? You could have said the wedding was postponed. It wasn't postponed. It was canceled by your daughter, who ran off to Vegas. You're ruining her reputation. She ruined her own reputation when she posted it on Instagram. Turns out, her ex had already gone back to his actual girlfriend. The Vegas thing was exactly what it looked like, a last-minute fling. My ex apparently thought he'd leave his girlfriend for her. He didn't. Now she's back at her parents' house, unemployed. She dropped most of her freelance clients in the weeks before the wedding, single, and dealing with everyone knowing she left a guy at the altar for someone who didn't even want her. This is where it gets wild. Last week, I came home from work to find my garage door slightly open. The lock looked tampered with. Heart pounding, I rushed in. All 3 motorcycles were still there, nothing missing. But they'd been moved. Someone had definitely been in there. Checked my security camera footage. Her dad and her brother, who I didn't even know was in town, had picked the lock and spent an hour in my garage photographing the motorcycles. Taking pictures of serial numbers, condition, modifications, everything. I called the cops, filed a report for breaking and entering. They went to her parents' house that night. Her dad claimed he had every right to inspect marital property his daughter was entitled to. The cops explained that 1. We weren't married. 2. The motorcycles weren't marital property. 3. He'd committed breaking and entering. 4. I could press charges. I asked what happens if I do press charges. He'd be arrested, likely charged with a misdemeanor, face fines or possible jail time depending on the DA. Her dad's face went white. I looked at him. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to leave me alone. You're going to tell your daughter to get her remaining stuff by this weekend or it goes to donation. You're never coming near my property again. And if you do, I'm pressing charges immediately. Understand? He nodded. looking like he wanted to argue but knowing he had zero legal ground. The cops left. Haven't heard from him since. But I upgraded my security. Better locks, more cameras, motion sensors, not taking chances. My ex's lawyer sent me a letter. Yes, she actually hired a lawyer. The letter demanded 1. $21,900 half of the wedding costs, 2. $4,250 half of the honeymoon cost, 3. $8,000 compensation for emotional distress, 4. $3,500 her share of household improvements made during cohabitation. Total $37,650. I actually laughed reading it, forwarded it to my buddy who's a lawyer. He laughed too. This is nonsense. You don't owe her anything. Want me to respond? Please. His response letter was beautiful. Basically said, we weren't married, no legal obligation. She abandoned the wedding. Any costs are her responsibility if anything. Emotional distress claim is frivolous when she caused the situation. Household improvements. I'd renovated the kitchen or to my property. She has no claim. Cease all contact or will pursue harassment charges. Her lawyer hasn't responded. Probably told her she has no case. Since legal routes failed, she went public. Posted a long Instagram story about escaping a controlling relationship and finding the courage to leave before it was too late. Made me out to be some controlling monster. Said I isolated her from friends. False. She stopped seeing friends on her own, made all financial decisions. I offered to combine finances. She refused, and refused to let her pursue her dreams. What dreams? She freelanced from home. Comments were sympathetic at first, until people who were at the wedding started chiming in. Wait, weren't you the one who no-showed your own wedding and posted from Vegas with your ex? You literally left this guy at the altar via text. I was there. He turned it into a party. It was amazing. You missed out. She deleted the post within hours. Her sister tried defending her on Facebook. Posted about how I was keeping her belongings hostage and refusing to give her the wedding gifts that were rightfully hers. My cousin responded with receipts. Screenshots of me offering multiple times for her to get her stuff. Screenshots of me returning gifts to guests. Her sister also deleted her post. This weekend was the deadline for her stuff. She showed up Saturday morning with a U-Haul, her parents, her sister, and 2 friends. I'd already boxed everything, had it in the living room. Clear labels on each box. Everything's here. Take it and go. Her mom started crying about how cold I was being. Ma'am, your daughter left me at the altar. I'm being more than fair by carefully packing her belongings and giving her multiple chances to retrieve them. They loaded the truck in silence. When they got to the last few boxes, my ex-fiancée tried to talk to me. Can we talk? Just for a minute? No. Please, I need closure. You got closure when you texted I can't do this from Vegas. I made a mistake, the biggest mistake of my life. Okay, I want to fix this. I want us to try again. I stared at her. You're joking. I'm not. I realize now what I had, what I lost. You're stable, successful, you have your life together. I was stupid to throw that away. So, you don't actually want me. You want my stability and success. That's not what I meant. That's exactly what you meant. Answer this. Are you still in contact with your ex? She hesitated. We're friends. Get out. Take your stuff and don't come back. Her dad tried to intervene. She's trying to apologize. She's trying to come back to a comfortable situation because the guy she left me for didn't want her. That's not an apology. That's opportunism. They finished loading and left. Haven't heard from them since. Final update. 1 month later. It's been a month since the non-wedding. Time for closure on this whole mess. Her lawyer sent one more letter, much more conciliatory this time. Acknowledged she has no legal claim to anything, but asked if I'd consider in good faith giving her $5,000 to help her get back on her feet. My lawyer's response, no. That was it, just no. Haven't heard anything since. The legal harassment is over. Best part of this whole thing? I sold one of the bikes, the 1985 Yamaha RZ500. Got $31,000 for it, $3 more than its appraised value. Buyer was a collector who'd been looking for one in that condition for years. Used $8,500 to rebook the Bora Bora honeymoon for myself and my best man. We leave in 2 weeks. Used another $10,000 as down payment on a better house. Smaller than the one we were planning to move into, but all mine. No memories attached. Put the rest in savings. Still have the 1972 Honda and 1969 Triumph. Working on restoring a 1973 Kawasaki Z1 I picked up cheap. Therapeutic, honestly. Engine work, rewiring, paint, keeps my hands busy and my mind focused. Through the grapevine, her sister's boyfriend still talks to my best man. Here's where she ended up. Living with parents, lost most of her freelance clients, working retail part-time at a mall. Her ex blocked her on everything after his girlfriend found out about Vegas. Still telling people she escaped a controlling relationship, but fewer people believe her. Apparently asked her parents for money to hire a better lawyer. They refused. Her dad, by the way, got a citation for the breaking and entering thing. Had to pay a fine. Court record is public. People in their social circle know about it now. This was unexpected, but really cool. Multiple guests from the wedding have reached out to hang out. Turns out, a lot of them thought I handled the situation with class and humor. Made connections with people I barely knew before. One of them owns a motorcycle shop. We've been collaborating on the Z1 restoration. He's teaching me advanced paint techniques. Good dude. Another couple invited me to their actual wedding next month. Said they want the guy who knows how to throw a party under pressure there. Remember the photographer I mentioned? He actually created an album called The Best Non-Wedding Ever. Shots of the banner, people laughing and dancing, candid moments of pure celebration. He asked if he could use some shots, faces blurred, for his portfolio under alternative event photography. I said yes. It's gotten him 3 bookings for divorce parties and engagement cancellation celebrations. He gave me the full album for free. Said it was the most fun he'd had at a wedding in 15 years. I'm doing okay. Better than okay, actually. That first week was rough. Anger, humiliation, hurt. But it faded faster than I expected. Therapy helped. Went to a few sessions just to process everything. Therapist said I'd likely been emotionally detaching for months before the wedding, which is why the breakup didn't destroy me. Made sense. Dating? Not yet. Not rushing. Focusing on the house, the bikes, my work, my friends. Got a promotion at work last week. Project lead on a major client contract. More money, more responsibility. Would have had to turn it down if I'd gotten married and gone on that honeymoon. The universe works in weird ways. Ran into my ex-fiancée last week. Total accident. Same grocery store, both reaching for the same brand of coffee. She looked terrible, like she'd been crying recently. Saw me and froze. "Hey," she said quietly. "Hey." Awkward silence. "How are you?" she asked. "Good. You?" "I'm managing." Another silence. "Look, I just want to say, don't. Whatever you're about to say, don't. I need you to know I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry. I was selfish and stupid and I hurt you and I've been paying for it every day since." I looked at her. Really looked. She seemed sincere. Broken even. "Okay? That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? You're sorry. I hear you. That doesn't change anything. Can we at least be friends eventually?" "No. Why not?" "Because you didn't just break up with me. You humiliated me in the most public way possible. You left me standing at an altar in front of everyone I care about. You ran off with your ex and posted it on social media. Then you and your family spent weeks trying to extort money from me and claim ownership of my property." Her eyes filled with tears. I know I messed up everything. Yeah, you did. And I've moved on. You should too." I took my coffee and left. She didn't follow. Felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, no lingering feelings. Just nothing. And that's how I knew I was actually okay. Lessons learned. If I've learned anything from this disaster: 1. Trust your gut. I knew something was off for months. Should have addressed it sooner. 2. Keep finances separate until marriage. Saved me so much hassle. 3. Document everything. Receipts, titles, property records. Saved my ass legally. 4. You can't control how people treat you, but you can control how you respond. Turning that wedding into a party was the best decision I made. Number 5. Real love doesn't abandon you at the altar via text. Real love shows up. My ex-fiancée texted me yesterday from a new number. "I still love you. I'll always love you. I hope someday you can forgive me." I blocked it without responding. Because here's the thing. Maybe she does love me in her own broken way. Maybe she genuinely regrets what she did. Maybe she's learned and grown from this experience. But none of that is my problem anymore. I've got a house to move into, motorcycles to restore, A vacation to take with my best man. A promotion to celebrate. A life to live that doesn't include someone who'd throw it all away on a whim. She made her choice when she chose Vegas over our wedding. I made mine when I chose the party over devastation. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The Bora Bora trip is in 2 weeks. My best man and I are going to drink expensive cocktails, snorkel, and laugh about that time I turned a wedding disaster into a legendary party. Life's good. Moving forward. No regrets. Well, one regret. Should have sold all 3 motorcycles and gone to Bora Bora for a month. Just kidding. I'm keeping the Honda. That bike is perfect.